Today, let's get the cucumbers ready for winter. No horseradish, no sterilizing needed. I'm going to share with you the method for making the crunchiest pickled cucumbers. I'll also show you how to calculate the ingredients precisely according to the size of your jar, so simple that anyone can succeed on their very first try. These cucumbers can be stored in an apartment with ease. Very convenient. Let's get started. The first and most important step is choosing the cucumbers. If possible, it's best to buy them from a trusted farmer or at a market if you do not have your own garden. Pick only the best cucumbers. No blemishes, no damage. Even if you cut off the bad spots, they won't keep well for long. In fact, cucumbers with flaws may spoil and won't last even a week. Also, don't use salad cucumbers, as they soften quickly and lose their flavor. All cucumbers must be thoroughly washed. Add some salt to a basin. Then add baking soda. Pour in enough water to cover the cucumbers. Stir to dissolve the salt and baking soda. Now, soak the cucumbers for 5 minutes. After soaking, use a towel or a new sponge to scrub their skins. It's very important to remove the whitish protective coating, and you must do this carefully. Of course, not every cucumber has this coating, but they still need a proper wash. Salt works as a disinfectant and antibacterial agent, helping to eliminate microorganisms and insect eggs from the cucumber skins. Baking soda softens dirt, making it easier to clean. It also removes acidic pesticide residues from the surface. Together, salt and baking soda provide an effective deep clean. Any harmful microorganisms must be eliminated. You'll notice the water turning cloudy and full of residue, proof of how effective this cleaning method is. Next, change the water to rinse off the salt, baking soda, and vinegar. You can wash them under running water or in a basin, but always rinse thoroughly afterward. Rinse the cucumbers well and transfer them to a basin or pot. Now, add cold water to soak the cleaned cucumbers. It's important to wash them first and then soak them, not the other way around. Why do we do this? Soaking cucumbers in water before pickling helps remove sticky sap, keeps them crunchy longer, and gives them a richer flavor once pickled. Soaking in ice-cold water also locks in crispness. One thing to note, always use food-safe water for soaking. If your water contains a lot of chlorine, run it through a filter first. And remember, it must be cold. As for soaking time, anywhere from 1 to 2 hours works. The fresher the cucumbers were when harvested, the longer they need to soak. While the cucumbers are soaking, let's get the jars ready. This is another very important step. Prepare some food-grade baking soda and pour it onto a plate. Using a new cloth, gently scrub the inside and outside of the jars to remove any dust or residue. Why use only baking soda instead of regular detergent? Because baking soda is non-toxic and food-safe, ensuring no harmful chemicals are left behind that could affect the pickles. In addition to cleaning effectively like a detergent, it absorbs odors and removes any unpleasant smells that may linger in the jars. On top of that, its fine particles act as a gentle abrasive that cleans the surface without scratching the glass. Cucumbers can easily spoil if the jars aren't prepared properly. Even with brand new jars, I always recommend washing them thoroughly again. Next comes sterilizing the jars. You can do this in the oven, the microwave, or with steam. Here, I sterilize the jars with steam for 10 minutes. At the same time, I boil the lids for 3 minutes. The jars can have either screw-on or twist-off lids, but the preparation method is the same for both. Many people wonder, Why sterilize the jars if the cucumbers themselves aren't sterilized afterward? The reason is that it's not always possible to clean glass jars completely, and without proper sterilization, the cucumbers will spoil. Cucumbers can be rid of bacteria with an extra rinse, but unsterilized glass jars can never be as clean as sterilized ones. Once sterilized, the jars should be sealed immediately with sterilized lids. Besides cucumbers, we also need to prepare a few accompanying ingredients. This step is just as important. Dill leaves. You can even use its flowers. Simply rinsing with water isn't enough. We need to eliminate all microorganisms by pouring boiling water over the dill and letting it sit for 1 minute. Now, rinse bay leaves with water. Where are you watching from? Please leave a comment to let me know. Then place them in a bowl and pour boiling water over them for 1 minute. Prepare garlic by peeling and rinsing it. Get a few bell peppers. They should be intact, without bruises or rot. To preserve cucumbers for a long time, it's important to use the best quality vegetables and herbs. This isn't a salad where you can just cut off the bad parts and toss them aside. Remove the seeds from the peppers, then cut them in half, trim away any soft parts, and slice into small pieces. You'll also need black peppercorns. There's no need to wash them. If you like spicy food, prepare a few hot chili peppers as well. Once the cucumbers have soaked long enough, remember, the longer they've been harvested, the longer they need to soak, up to 2 hours. But don't leave them in water for too long. Take them out and let them drain. Now, cut off both ends of each cucumber to remove any remaining dirt. Make sure the cucumbers are fully ready before placing them into jars. For each 1-liter jar, prepare the following amount of ingredients. At the bottom, place 1 dill sprig, 1 garlic clove, or 2 small ones, 1 bay leaf, 4 slices of bell pepper. Optionally, 1 hot chili if you like it spicy. Add 5 to 7 black peppercorns. Next, pack in the cucumbers. For the first layer, place them vertically. A 1-liter jar holds about 500 grams of cucumbers, depending on their size. The next layer can be placed horizontally. Their natural curve makes it easier to fit them. If the cucumbers are large, you can cut them into halves or thirds, or even add tomatoes if you'd like. When the jar is filled, add 1 more sprig of dill on top. Then close it with a lid. We always choose whole, undamaged cucumbers, the best-looking ones. And just like that, 1 beautiful jar of cucumbers is ready. Repeat the same process for the remaining jars. It's nice to know that we see each other all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. It's great to see your support. Now, pour boiling water into each jar. For a 1-liter jar, add 500 milliliters of boiling water, but always have some extra water on hand. The amount of water depends on how tightly the cucumbers are packed inside. Pour boiling water into all the jars at the same time. Fill them completely and seal with the lids right away. This step warms up the cucumbers before adding the marinade. If the cucumbers aren't warmed through, the lids may bulge. Leave them for 15 minutes. After this time, the jars will feel slightly warm. Next, open the lids and pour the water back into a pot. Then seal the jars again with sterilized lids. Bring the water back to a boil as quickly as possible so the cucumbers don't cool down. Look at the water bubbling. If you see any impurities floating on top, skim them off. Now pour the boiling water back into the cucumbers. Seal the jars and leave them for another 15 to 20 minutes. With this method, you can also make pickled tomatoes, but they only need to be filled once, since tomatoes are softer than cucumbers and heat through faster. Now let's prepare the brine. For a 1-liter jar, you'll need 500 milliliters of water, half a tablespoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. In grams, that's 25 grams of salt and 18 grams of sugar. This amount of sugar won't make the cucumbers sweet at all. What's important to remember is that the brine is measured by water volume, not by the number of jars. That means you don't add salt and sugar directly into the jars. The water with salt and sugar must be boiled separately. I recommend not using the brine immediately. Let it rest for a moment after boiling. If the salt contains impurities, they'll settle at the bottom. Many people like to prepare the brine using the water poured from the jars, but I discard it. This way, the flavor remains rich, and the brine stays crystal clear. Now, pour the boiling brine with salt and sugar into the jars for the third time. Fill up to the neck of the jar, leaving a little space for the vinegar. Seal the jars right away, and you can tighten them firmly. The brine will soak into the cucumbers shortly after. When the cucumbers start to cool, prepare 70% vinegar. Pour it into a small bowl. Add 2.5 milliliters of vinegar to each jar. If you're using 9% vinegar, add 50 milliliters per jar. After that, close the lids tightly. If you have a tool for sealing lids, even better. It ensures the lids are completely concave and airtight. Remember to turn the jars upside down, and always do this away from yourself. If the lids aren't sealed properly, they might pop open and cause injury. It's very important to check that the lids are airtight and no air can enter. If air gets in, bacteria will grow, and your cucumbers won't keep well. In this upside-down position, wrap the jars in a warm blanket and leave them until they cool completely. When the cucumbers come into contact with vinegar, their color changes from bright green to olive. They'll still be warm at first, then slowly cool down. You can leave them upside down for a day or two before turning them back upright. Store them in a cool, dark place, away from sunlight and far from radiators. Prepared this way, the cucumbers will keep perfectly well in an apartment, as long as you follow all the recommendations. So don't hesitate, give it a try, and stock up on cucumbers for the coming winter. You'll love them because they're crunchy and delicious. Many people even enjoy drinking the brine to the last drop. And the garlic and peppers taste amazing too. If you have your own tips or tricks, share them so everyone can learn. I'd be happy to hear your ideas. The video ends here. If you have any comments, please leave a comment below. If you find the video interesting, please give me a like. Don't forget to share it with your relatives and friends. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you in the next video.